Well, if I get the GoPro set right, welcome back to Sensation. Good video for you right here. Hopefully they're all good videos. I appreciate each and every one of my subscribers, all the comments, all the likes. Give the videos the likes. Let's build the channel. We do this together, right? That's what the community is all about. So I'm going to show you what I'm working on today. You've seen the case before, but we're doing things differently here at Sensation. When the wheels start turning, things start happening. Do they make any sense? Not at the beginning, but in the end, it'll kind of tie together, right? So sometimes in the beginning, there's no sense to be made, but by the end of the video, or by the end of a couple of videos, you'll start getting a point about what I was doing. So this case is going to look familiar to you when I get you turned around to it so you can see our build today. The motherboard and stuff is not going to look very familiar to you, but I'm going to tell you about what's happening. I'm just not going to tell you what happened to the components that was inside this case, because that's going to come in a later video. So the case is stripped down now, and you'll know what was in it, but I'm not going to tell you what I did with that just yet, because that has the gold RAM in it, the DDR5. No, I didn't hawk the DDR5 RAM because, you know, 32 gigs is worth $400 or anything, or a little over $400 at Best Buy. I still have the DDR5 RAM. I still have the motherboard and all that. It's just I'm going a different direction with it. So I'm going to get you turned over to the case, and I'm going to show you what kind of build we're going to do. I'm going to need some components, but I got some stuff to put this thing together and at least get it posted and working. Okay, so I don't know if this looks familiar to you or not, but maybe when I turn it like this, it will. And maybe like that. This is our white NZXT. I think they were called H510 cases. And you can see we got this one tore down. There's nothing in it. I have some fans I'm mocking up. These are going to be temporary, so I'm only going to put a couple screws a piece in them, just for that reason, and that's what I was working on when I cut you guys on. I've got the fans out that I'm going to use in it. These fans work good as far as the fans go, but the RGB is broken in them. So, bling sells, guys and gals, bling sells, so we're going to need bling for it. That doesn't look like a case or a fan screw. So we'll go back to the drawing boards. I'm going to get these fans started, and like I said, I'm just going to put a couple screws in each of these fans right now, because we don't need a ton, right? Not for what we're doing. We just want it to cool while we're testing it and bench testing it for the build. And then when you see the montage, you'll see the new fans in it, and you'll say, oh, much better. You're also going to see how we're going to take a third gen. So a third generation. Where did all my fan screws go? I took fan screws out earlier and I can't find them now. That's usually how that works, right? You'll take them out and you'll have all these fan screws, and then you won't be able to find said fan screws. And story of my life. Looks like I'll get another one of these, but I have fan screws. Alright guys, the second standstill I've hit is this front panel connector right here. And I don't want to cut it and put another one on it. Or repin it, but it won't work for our motherboard. So our motherboard is going to be this Asus P8 P67 Deluxe. And those are the front panel pins on it. And you can't put one of those connectors on there, because they're not laid out like the typical front panel is. So that connector will not work on here. Period. I need individual pins on the case for it to work. So that case isn't going to work for us. at least not for that board, and I wanted to do the 3rd gen 3700 in it. That's the setup I want to have in it, and the only way to do it, well, not that CPU cooler, but this motherboard and stuff, the only way to do it is going to be to either find an adapter-rooney to go on there to connect this front panel wherever it went, or to cut this and heat shrink in the right pin connectors, or to look for a front panel adapter that'll adapt this to this style. So I'm going to look some stuff up. We might have to pause this build until I can figure this out, because I have never, I think I run across it before, and I think I just used a different case or a different motherboard or something. And I mean, we could do that here, but I don't want to. This is the build that I want to put together, because this is kind of why I didn't put it in the other case that I had planned on putting it in before I tore this unit down. The NZXT is what housed our Intel build. Our, what was it, 12600KF, i5 12600KF with the 32 gigs of RAM and the RX 6700 XT graphics card. I put Anduin on it, did the 30-day Linux challenge, and I'm going to give you the results on that. And I'm going to tell you what my daily Linux is too, and why it is. But we'll do that in a separate video. But I wanted to go a different direction with that Intel setup and put it, I want to do something really cool with that. So it's out of here for now, right? And I'd picked up this on a marketplace deal that was a good deal, and it works great. And I was originally going to put it in to the Leon Lee case that we built the side panel for and flip it. And then I thought, you know what, after the white case sold so fast, I figured I'd put it in there because these things pop, and do that. Well, the same problem with the Leon Lee, and it is the same with the NZXT, is we got these front panel connectors. And on more modern motherboards, that's fine, right? But some of these older boards, like this Asus here, they use the different pin setup on them. So you cannot use the regular front panel connector because it will not plug into that. This one's got set up where the power's over here and the reset's over here. And normally those are flip-flopped on top of each other. You know what I mean? So this board will not work with that front panel connector, unless there's an adapter, and that's what I'm going to look for. So I'm going to pause the video. Actually, we may go ahead and mount the motherboard. I'm confident that I can figure something else out, and I really want this board in here. So if I have to cut these and put, or maybe even build some pins to put in there and then have the old style on top of that, then I may do it, because these are doubled up in here anyway. So wherever the, I can almost look at this and see how it's pinned out too. That's the nice part about it. What pins are used and what pins aren't. And you can pretty much figure out where your power and reset go over here, and the hard drive goes right there. So I know what each of those wires do already. But I'll fast forward you guys, because you've seen motherboards mounted in before. So we don't need to punish ourselves for that. And we're just going to see how it looks in the case. The gold RAM is kind of, it's kind of, I don't know, right? Is it a bad idea? Probably. But we can get everything working with this board if we can just figure the power situation out. So what I mean by everything is I have a way to get, our USB 3 is going to work because we have a header for it. So we don't have to worry about the USB 3, but I can also figure out a way, I also have a way to make our USB-C work with an adapter to go from here to the USB-C, and we'll put this down here on our motherboard. So right down at the very bottom, that way we can run the cable and adapter at the bottom, and it's out of sight and out of mind. So that's what I'm thinking on it. This thing's going to look wild when it's done, guys. Let me get a couple of screws to put in this main board to hold it. Oh, we dropped one. It's got a pin that holds it, but I want a couple to secure it in there so I can flip it around and show it to you. And we can think about this. Maybe a different colored memory might help. I don't know. I kind of like it with the memory it's got in it. But it's going to have different fans in it too, so we have to keep all that in mind. Get a couple screws started here. And we'll get it flipped around. I think that screw fell out. There we go. I found it, so we'll just stick it up here too somewhere. And look at that. Let me get you down where you can see it better. The lighting's not the best on it either, is it? There we go. So we'll get the light. I'm gonna drag a light over here. We'll get her lit up. That's probably even better, right? How's that? Now you see it. I like it. It's different, and it's gonna pop different. And I think it's just crazy enough that I like it, especially when you get the RGB lights in it. We get the CPU cooler changed out. I think it's going to look killer, and I think the gold RAM just offsets it all. I honestly do. And I mean, I could replace that with 16 gigs of RAM, but it's going to be gold as well. So we're going with gold RAM on it, guys. I don't think I've ever used gold RAM or had gold RAM before, and I get 2 sets of gold RAM in a row. So imagine that. I am going to work on this right here to figure out what we need to connect this to that front panel connector without cutting it. I'm sure there's an adapter, and some of you are going to see the video and comment, and I'm already going to have it found by then, so thank you. But unfortunately, it will be done when you see the final on it, when we do the montage. I got to get a CPU cooler for it. Like I said, we got to go with different RGB fans, because these are the ones with the mirror on them, and guys, they just don't, the lights that aren't good in them, right? But they're good enough for us to get this together, and we're going to continue to get it together so we can do testing on it, because I do have a power switch right here, so I can still power the board on. So we'll continue on with the build. We can still test with the little cooler, just can't test it extremely hard. Partially done. It's enough for us to fire it up and post boot it. We can boot it. I got Windows 10 on this hard drive, so we should be able to boot right into that. But we can't use the power button or the USB 3 up. Actually, we got the USB 3 hooked up, so that's there. USB-C's not hooked up, so I'm gonna flip it around here because we're gonna get ready to hook it up, and I'm going to put you guys on the capture card, I reckon. Alright, we got it connected now. Just had to mess with the wires a little bit. We'll see if we knock it out. I think I knocked it out, didn't I? Nope, we're still working. So there it is. And if you hear some screaming from a CPU cooler, that's going to definitely be that little factory Intel cooler that was for like an i3, and definitely shouldn't have been put on an i5, right guys? We did it anyway, didn't we? Okay, perfect. I don't know if we have bench tests on this or not. We're going to look and see real quick. I can tell you right now, I unplugged our hard drive again. And I can tell you that because guess what? Nothing is working. Let's see if we boot back into Windows. There we go. Alright, hopefully it'll act right. That hard drive has got some busted connectors on it. And I have to use that particular connector that's on it to make it work, right? That's the only way it'll work, because you can't keep a SATA cable plugged into it because the plastic connector's busted off for it. So that one plugs into the SATA power and SATA data cable port. So because it fits into the one, it goes into the other one good. Alright. We are working now. That's exactly what we wanted to see, right? I'm going to get a Wi-Fi adapter on it. This is Windows 10 IoT. So this is what we would put on it if we were going to sell it. This thing does have built-in Bluetooth as well, so that's pretty cool. I'll get that plugged in. I don't know if I put Nova Bench on it though. I definitely didn't, so I'm going to have to get that stuff downloaded. Well, I guess that's regular speed. I don't know. If it is, I'll talk to you for a minute, and then I'll put you on fast forward. I got some new parts in for this one. We're going to be replacing all the fans in it, CPU cooler, running our USB-C cable. I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a minute. This cooler sucked on here. It just wasn't good. So, good riddance to it. It's okay to test these things, but not okay to keep them on it. Thermal paste spreaded nicely on it, so that was good. We'll keep this Intel cooler around as a test cooler only. We don't need it for anything else but testing. Get me a rag so we can wipe this off, and I'm trying not to bump the GoPro on my way around, and it's like you guys can see down in there pretty well. So that's good. We're just gonna dab it off there. Nice and smooth. We're going back to a fan that I purchased the last time. And you'll see that because I am going to go ahead and do a video on my racing rig. Upgrading the CPU cooler. Because I did a short video about it, but now I just give it away. But I think you're going to see that video before you see this one anyway. So that'll be good, right? I kind of want to go with blue memory in this and get rid of the gold, but I don't have 16 gigs of the blue, so. Alright, so what do we got for a CPU here, or cooler? Well, the CPU is an i7-3770. But we went with the Assassin X120R digital ARGB in black, and that is made by Thermalright. So we have a Thermalright. We need a razor blade. I got box cutters too. I bought them from a yard sale, but I don't feel like digging them up, so we're going to use a razor blade. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if it's got two-face tape on it, use it, guys. Because this will hold it when you can't, right? Oh, mercy. We need to pick this up because we got things running in our way, guys. It worked perfectly, guys. That's what we wanted, right? Now it's glued in there so it'll hold itself. And what did I say 1150 was? Right here. So we need this one, this top one first. We're going to need screws out of one of the other ones though, probably. I'm just getting all this stuff out of the package, guys. I probably got another package laying over there that I could have used instead of opening this one. Because I did AMD with it. So I could have done Intel. with the other one. And you always want to make sure you want to get your cooler, these brackets mounted right. But I think on this one they'll only mount one way, guys. So what I mean by that is I find my tool I need. These brackets might be a little bit easier. And I'm wanting to say that they go out like this, maybe. This is me taking a nostalgic one and modernizing it, literally, with the case, the RGB, the USB-C, and I'll show you what slick procedure I'm going to use on that too. In my mind, I'm just going to put it to you this way. In my mind it works, right? But it doesn't mean that it's going to work in real life. Alright guys, my Find It, Fix It, or Flip It beautiful little budget build is done. I still have to put a hard drive in it though. You can see we got the Thermalright cooler on there, the software in it, right? We went with the 6500 XT 4 gig card. So the little mech card right there. And we have the Asus motherboard with the 3770 CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, just like we got for it. I have $100 in basically the RAM, the CPU, and the motherboard there. I've got a little over $20 in the CPU cooler. Well, I can tell you the CPU cooler, the lights, the fans, and a couple of adapters I needed because I did get the power adapter adapted. Alright, so I adapted that to fit the front panel connector from this case. We're doing graphics drivers too. So it's got the Windows drivers in it, but I want to go ahead and change it over and have the Adrenaline software as well. So we're going to go ahead and install that right now. We got it downloaded. You can see that CPU is working right now. We'll see what it gets up to with the Thermalright cooler. Now, we've seen it 61, 62. So we're installing and it's using a lot of that CPU, you know, 4 cores and 8 threads here. And when we're putting this Radeon software in it, we're going to work it out a little bit. But I'll tell you what, for working it out, 60 degrees is pretty cool. We'll see on bench testing what it gets up to, though. It looks like it's reading the temperature pretty well. The cooler's working pretty good, so I'm going to click the accept and install right here. And that's just going to put our graphics drivers in, right? So I'm going to tell you on the closeout where this computer's going and why I did what I did to it. I wasn't quite ready to let go of the little 6500 XT, but I can always pick another one up. I've got $50 in that card. The fans, the CPU cooler, and the adapters I need, because we have a working USB-C in here too. So there's an adapter at the bottom of this thing that plugs into the PCI Express slot and goes to 2 USB 3.0 headers in the back, and I bought an adapter to plug one of those into the USB-C cable. Let's get this cover off. That way you can see exactly what I'm talking about and there's no reflections on the glass, right? And we'll turn a light on back here too so you can see better. All right, so if you look at this adapter-rooney right here at the bottom, and then you see our USB-C cable coming in right here, and it's plugged right into a header, and it works. Let's restart this computer right now for our graphics install, and then you can see the build. The gold RAM looks kind of crazy in it, but I kind of like it, right? I've got it just set to the white and the blue color scheme because I think it goes with the case better. We're using our 6-pin from our 400-watt power supply, which is going to be perfect for this little unit with the 6500 XT. It just sucks on the juice, right? So it's not going to demand too much juice from this thing. It boots up good. I got you hooked up on a capture card, but I wanted to go over it, the final build with you. My battery went dead during the recording, which sucks, but it is what it is, right? You got to see a lot of the building when it comes to putting the motherboard and the fans and stuff in this. And I think some of the stuff like the graphics card install you didn't get to see, so that's kind of why I'm showing it to you now, right? I do like the Thermalright CPU coolers. It works good on my gaming PC. Although I've only ran iRacing on it one time this week, I decided to do science and use my old 1366 with a 3070 Ti, and it actually worked, but it wasn't ideal. And I can tell you that in a different video, but it wasn't ideal, and let's just say I didn't finish either race over it. But I'm not giving up on it. I have one more week of recruitment / practice races for the league, and I'm gonna try it next week with a memory upgrade to see if we can make the old first gen Intel work on iRacing. But let's get back to this. This is what we did on the build. I've got probably 128 gig main drive in it. We're going to put a 1 terabyte old school drive to store on, and it's going to a 12-year-old boy. So that's who we're getting it ready for. I always build a folder full of wallpapers, guys. So I'll download a bunch of wallpapers, and if you go to pictures, right there, I just create a wallpapers folder. That way you can change it over, right? And set your background to whatever you want, and it'll give him many options there to do that. And that's just one of the things. If I know who it's going to, then I can personalize the computer. You know what I mean? That's one of the nice parts about it, is I can really give it a more personal touch. That way they get a better user experience out of it, right? I like the build. You'll have to tell me what you think about it, but I think this was awesome for the NZXT case to put it in this format right here, and to utilize our $100 marketplace purchase there. So the motherboard with the fans and the CPU cooler is $171, and then when you add in the 6500 XT, that's another $50. The hard drive come from another purchase, and I sold it and made money on it, so I didn't have any money in the power supply didn't have any money in. The hard drive, I probably had $15 or $20 in. I got a bunch of those on a marketplace deal, so I utilized one of the 120 gigs for that. And I bought a bunch of 1 terabyte drives, and I literally bought 2 boxes of those things for like $50, guys, just full of old. there you have it, another super fun SimStation video, and what a fun build that little 3770 was in my old NZXT case. You tell me what you guys think about it. I mean, we made all the ports work on the top, right? The USB 3.0 worked, the USB-C port worked off a USB 3.0 hub, which I thought was a pretty cool idea too. That way, the young man it's going to has all the working ports on the top of it, right? And he has a good PC to get started on. That went to a 12-year-old boy down in the Florida Keys. And I feel good to pass that along to his family at the cost that I had in the unit. What a beautiful little PC. And I hope it serves him well. So I am not disappointed at all. I mean, we've seen the iRacing performance on it, and I want to go over that for a minute too. So iRacing come out in 2008. Okay, I'm not going to deny that because you can look it up. It come out in 2008. Just because it come out in 2008 doesn't mean that you can still run it on hardware from 2008. iRacing is a paid service, and it is updated every 13 weeks, and sometimes more in between then. iRacing is one of the most demanding simulators you can put on your PC. And I am not making it up. Any of you guys with quad cores that think you can run it, go ahead and download it and try it and see what happens. Sim racing in general is very CPU intensive, and it always has been. But now couple in VR and everything else that goes into these things. Couple in all the USB ports that you have plugged in to run your steering wheel and your pedals and stuff, and you tell me that it's not one of the most intensive tests that you could do to your PC. So I do want to throw that out there. When you see a 3rd gen and a 2nd gen run iRacing, they're working hard, and I'll start showing the CPU usage so you can see it hitting up around 100% and 100% most of the time. And I'm going to give you another story on that. This past Tuesday night, I had my Ryzen 5 2600X, and I put a new to me RX 9060 XT graphics card in it, right? And I hooked it to the VR, and I went into iRacing and couldn't even run it because I had 100% CPU usage and packet loss. There you go. That's a 6-core 12-thread processor, guys. That's not a 4-core 8-thread. So it's updated every 13 weeks, and what you download and get now is nothing like what you downloaded and got in 2008. So I want to put that out there. So when you think that I'm testing these on iRacing, that I'm testing them from a simulator that was made in 2008. Because what we have in 2026 is nothing even close to what we had in 2008, right? So no, you won't take 2008 hardware and do it, but you can run it with 2026 hardware. Why do you think my rigs are later generation that I used to do that for the most part? It's because of that reason and that reason only, that over time you have to upgrade your hardware to be able to run the simulator, because if not, the simulator is going to upgrade past you. You see what I mean? And I want to throw that out there. Not some of you, probably most of you knew this already about it. Some of you, I don't think, understand it fully or how it works. You only look and see that it come out in 2008. Just because it come out in 2008 doesn't mean that you can run it on a 2008 PC in 2026, because it's rolling updates, right? We've seen other games like that too that are rolling updates, but when it comes to the simulators, iRacing in particular is a paid service. It's not free, so you pay a monthly fee to be able to access the simulator. Once you get in there, you have to buy your cars and tracks as well. So I don't want anyone to think that it's a free service or anything like that. I don't have as much in my rig as a lot of guys have in theirs. I mean, there's guys that have $40,000 and $50,000 in their rigs, right? I have realistically probably $2,500 to $3,000 in mine, value-wise. So I did want to take that and throw it out there. So when you see these PCs and I'm testing them on iRacing and they're running it, that shows a lot. It really does. It shows me a lot, and it makes me confident when I put these PCs out the door that they're going to be able to perform flawlessly for the customer that they go to. So with all that out of the way, this is a couple of weeks after I sold that PC, and I didn't have an ending to the video, so I wanted to throw this in there. This is also after my data crash and losing all of my current content from about 30 days ago. So I'm not going to let it get me down. It was just all new videos. I'm going to do a re-recording on a couple of computers, which kind of sucks, but it's my fault for not backing my data up, so I don't want anybody to feel bad for me for that. I'm just going to soldier on. That's going to do it, though, for the 3770 build. They were, as his mother put it, that boy was over the moon when he got that computer. She said he was over the moon. They have messaged me multiple times thanking me because I told them that I would do it at my cost, and that's what I did. They're great people, and there's a lot of great people out there, and I don't mind when I buy this content, as long as I can get my investment back. I don't really care. Some of the things I actually sell for lower than my investment, but getting my investment back is important for being able to buy new content to make, or to buy new stuff to make new content for you guys and gals. That's going to do it for this video, though. I hope you liked it. It was really a fun build. I don't know what it is, but those white cases are selling right now. So if you have a white case and you bling it out a little bit, it's going to go quickly. I lost the video on it, but I had one that I called Snow, and Snow was a beautiful PC. I built it from a case that I bought on a marketplace find, and you guys never seen it because it wasn't in any videos. And I had all the content to make a great video from it, and that was one of the ones I lost. But it was a white case, and after I built it with a 6th gen Intel, it literally sold in less than 24 hours after posting it on Marketplace. So the white cases are in demand, guys. That's going to do it, though. Like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you comment. It was tough losing all my data, but I'll tell you what, guys. I'll back it up from now on. I learned a lesson. I'll make more content for you guys, new content, and we'll just keep this thing going. That's going to do it, though. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the very next Sensation video. Thank you.